The Oscar Pistorius case, the Blade Runner in South Africa. He was acquitted of the more serious murder charges. He was found guilty of culpable homicide. We're joined by our legal analyst, Chas Farcher from Martin Harding Mazzotti. Chas, how are you?
Hey, great. Good morning, Chuck. How are you? Good morning, Kelly.
Good morning.
Hey, so culpable homicide, I guess in this country that'd be roughly commensurate with involuntary manslaughter?
Yeah, I think that's about right. The South African legal system's a little different, but it's basically a crime of negligence or recklessness. So, involuntary manslaughter is about the equivalent over here.
I don't know how closely you actually followed the case. It seemed to, I guess I'll speak for Kelly. Maybe I'm wrong on that. To me, it seemed like I don't think it was premeditated, but sure seemed like a murder to me. Did you get that impression? And on what basis do you think the judge decided it was not a murder conviction?
Well, South African legal system is a little different than ours because they don't have jury trials, so they just use bench trials where a judge hears everything. So I think, based upon the decision and what the judge has said about the case, it seems that Pistorius' testimony, by itself played a large role in that. She found him to be credible for, whatever reason. She determined that his testimony that he gave there was, kind of the linchpin in coming to that conclusion, it seems like.
All right, switching gears a little bit to talk about the this Tony Stewart crash. I guess they released some new video. They had it enhanced by the New York State Police Lab here in Albany. Excuse me. And they now say that it shows basically what they thought it would show, and then which was the Ward getting out of the car and yelling at Stewart and then getting killed. It appears that they've completed their investigation. Do you think there should have been charges?
No, from what we could tell, what we could see, it looked like a terrible tragedy. But unless they were going to come up with something else that we didn't know about, audio inside the car or video from a GoPro camera or something like that, I don't know how you get inside the mind of Tony Stewart to prove either intent or, some type of extremely reckless conduct, such as trying to scare Ward without actually hitting him. Unless you can prove that, I'm not sure what the basis of a criminal charge would be.
Is that now? I know the sheriff's department. As like Kelly said, they completed the investigation. They have this enhanced video. They've now turned it over to the DA's office. It's in the DA's lap. Is that standard operating procedure? And on what basis, if the DA's office decides to bring charges, on what basis would they have to make such a decision?
Well, generally the police have the discretion to file or institute charges, but once they do that or don't do that, the DA also has the discretion to decide if they're going to pursue or continue through with any charges. So even if the local police authorities had decided they were going to file charges, the DA could still not proceed or prosecute those charges if they didn't think there was enough evidence to go forward. And vice versa, if the sheriff's office decided there wasn't enough evidence to move forward and didn't file charges, the DA could still take another look at it and say, well, no, there is enough here. We want you to file charges, and then what they could potentially do is announce that they're going to turn it over to a grand jury, which would be the first step in starting the criminal process. You put the information in front of a grand jury, and then a grand jury would actually decide, is there even enough evidence to support the possibility of a charge or go forward? And if there is, then you'd have a sustained criminal charge, and then things would move forward. But I don't believe that's what's going to happen. It seems to me that there's not enough here, like I said, unless the DA or the sheriff came up with something else that we didn't have or didn't see at this point.
All right. Hey, Chas, thanks for the time. We appreciate it on a Monday.
Have a great day, Chuck. Have a great day, Kelly.
Thanks, you too.
Chas Farcher from Martin Harding and Mazzotti, 1-800-LAW-1010.